Yeah. Question for you, Mark. Which fan base do you think is going into this game with more confidence?
I think that that's a great question. I would think that the non-thinking fan, maybe the periphery fan, would be the Michigan fan that would have more confidence because of the 4-0 record, because of dominating most of their opponents up until the Rutgers game. Maybe even thinking that the Rutgers game was in the bag at halftime and they just kind of let it go late, but they were never really threatened that much. And in Wisconsin, again, they got blown out in the last like 5 minutes of that game last week to make it look really bad. But if you really look at the two teams, to Dre's point, Wisconsin's battle tested. That's one of the reasons why it's only like a 1-point spread. And I think it's kind of flipping back and forth between the two of them because Michigan's had success. Wisconsin hasn't had success, but yeah, they've played two of the top 10 to 15 teams in the country. And their defense is really good.
Yeah, it's well, I know Mark loves the ESPN FPI Football Power Index. Right now, the predictor is Michigan 69%, Wisconsin 31%. That's pretty interesting. That's very interesting.
Is that a fan poll?
I think it's ESPN's kind of FPI, whatever type of like algorithm.
Michigan has a lot of pools, so like just be careful. You know how it is. Michigan, yes, they get a lot of pool. I just, gosh, I'm sure people hear me, like, man, this guy, like, are you sure you're a Michigan fan? I am. I'm not falling for the fake. And I'm not trying to protect myself. I'm not. I'm being honest with what I see. I would love to come on here. So you know what, man, not only are we winning these games, but the way we're playing, I think it can apply to XYZ games on this schedule. I can't say that without feeling like a homer, or a Michigan slappy. Like, it's just the things that we're seeing. If you're actually watching the games, you're not getting caught up in the record, go blue, hell to the victors, we're awesome, and you actually watch the games, there are some concerns. And this is a game where it's a recipe for disaster that could be that can look like 2019 and 2017. Well, 2019 we're at Wisconsin, got punched in the mouth, and I think 2017, in which ironically both our young quarterbacks, Dylan McCaffrey and Brandon Peters, got broken in half. Like, it's just it has not turned out well. And I'm just cautioning my fellow Michigan fans, just be careful with the whole record thing, okay? Because I can tell you one thing, that Wisconsin defense ain't like NIU. It ain't like Rutgers, okay? So just be careful. Be careful. Don't get your heart hurt, all right? That's all I'm saying.
Well, to try to I think you make some good points. It just, like, I feel like for myself, I beat a dead horse, just because, like I said, you just haven't seen it as far as the past game, and I think we can all agree, or we have agreed, that you're going to need your quarterback to make some plays. So we'll kind of see, how it goes. But I mean, according to the FBI,
and slide. For God's sakes, Kate, if you run, slide. Don't be like Brandon Peters. Don't be like Dylan McCaffrey trying to get an extra yard and breaking your collarbone or get a concussion. Like for God's sakes, can we make it out this game without losing one of our young quarterbacks, please? My God, I'm sorry, but it's just it never fails. You know what happens? Michigan gets punched in the mouth, and then now we're trying to battle our way back. Receivers aren't getting open, or our quarterback just isn't comfortable making plays, so they try to use their legs, in which they're not really comfortable using their legs and taught how to slide correctly. And all of a sudden, here comes Wisconsin safety, like Pryor did in 2019, and gets a nice clean lick. But guess what? It doesn't matter that he's kicked out the game because we're already down a couple touchdowns. I'm sorry. I've seen this. I can see Saturday playing out, and we're gonna do the post game show. And I'm gonna look like I just ate a lemon. So I'm sorry. Let me power it down. But they do this to me. They do this to me all the time. I'm trying to protect my people.
That's passion, man. There's
It
nothing.
is.
Nothing
It burns hot.
Nothing like it. Last thing is from you. Score prediction for Saturday. What do you think is going to happen? And can I get a score prediction?
Oh. 21-17 Wisconsin.
Ooh, low
I
scoring.
I think Michigan would struggle offensively. I think their defense will keep them in games on the flip side. And I think they will force Graham Mertz, because once you have the turnover bug, it's really hard to get rid of it. I think they will get a turnover or two, but at least one against Graham Mertz. But I just don't think offensively we'll be able to capitalize enough. And I think just like you saw with Rutgers, that eventually our defense will make a couple mistakes, because even though we're better than last year, our secondary is still a work in progress. I saw Daxon Hill. And so I think it'll be a tough game. I think it'll be respectable. I don't think they're going to get blown off the field. But I think it'll be a tough loss. Maybe a tough loss. But 21-17.
Bob Flippo put Wisconsin 37, Michigan 13.
Man.
Yikes. If that happens, that is not going to be good. I think we're going to be somewhere closer in the range of like a 35-31 Michigan. I think it'll be,
35-31.
Yep. 35-31.
Wow, look
Michigan.
At you.
I think it'll be, because what I have seen is the ability to run the inside zone slant RPO. In the first half, the ones that Cade hit to, I think it was Sanders Still and Cornelius Johnson each had one. And I think Michigan will cause some turnovers, one or two, whether it's because number one, Graham is already turnover prone. And then when you add pressure, and then when you add pressure with a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, which I think he's going to have, a lot of pressure, that's only going to make the mistakes go up. Like, I could see that happening. So I would see, I could see a couple short fields for Michigan where, they get maybe 14 points off of turnovers and get the ball at midfield or something like that in Wisconsin territory, and kind of go from there. So, that would be 14 of your 35 points right there. So that would be my score prediction. It'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. This is a game that, I can honestly say it's a toss up. Like if either team won this game, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. And it's just, this is where like the unknown about the quarterback position really hurts. My ability.
People thought I was crazy. They're like, Desmond, oh my God, you got to stop. Like, we don't need to throw the ball. We don't, like, people got on me, and I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because if Michigan comes out Saturday and Cade, whatever, either doesn't throw the ball or looks bad throwing the ball, then I will be vindicated.
What if the defense? It could be this simple. It could be this simple. What if by some chance Graham Mertz is on, right? With and somehow we get down 14-0, 14-3. It's not like that's impossible. Like, what if they get out to a 10? Okay, I won't even do that. Let's say Michigan's down 10-0, right? Mm-hmm. At some my point is, what if the game is somewhat close, but you're getting closer and closer to a point where time is of the essence? Because even if Wisconsin's not scoring at a high clip, at the very least they're going to do a good job and control the time possession, right? And now you're putting yourself where you can't just run the football. You got to throw it, right? Because time, you're not going to get 30-yard chunk plays running the football. It's not going to happen. But time is now going to require you to pass the ball, like Mark was saying earlier. So it could be just that simple, where it's like neither team could be playing bad, but your margin of error when your quarterback position is not extremely reliable to make plays at times, your margin of error gets that much smaller. You know what I'm saying? And so it could be just that simple. And Michigan can, clamp down on defense, say they give up 14 points in the first quarter, but they don't give up another 10 in the rest of the game. right?
Yeah.
You would say it's a pretty good turnaround. Okay, you gave up 14 points first quarter. You only gave up 10 the rest of the game. Wisconsin gets to 24, right? How are you going to get there? You're not going to get it running the football against that team. So it could be that simple, right? So
True.
Bro, but Penn State won what was it, 17-10, 16-10?
16-10, yeah.
Like, come on. Like, this is going to be a razor edge type of game. And so that's what it's going to come down to.
True. It's it'll be interesting, man. Excited to see it. You know, Michigan, it's a huge test for Michigan. I think before the season started, we all thought Washington was going to be that. And, you know, they turned out not to be, you know, as good as we thought they were. So this will be pretty big. This will be big. So excited to check it out. And we will be here Saturday after the game. And we'll break it down. So hopefully it'll be Michigan moving on to 5-0 and 2-0 in the conference and a big win. So that is all for us. Folks, thank you guys so much for joining us. While you're here, please like, subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys in just a couple days on Saturday.
Go Blue.
Peace.